The guests are great. I luckily, knock on wood, wherever I can find wood, haven't had too many issues with guests. We've had people try to steal stuff.
Really?
Like one time.
I'm not surprised, but.
One time she was pulling up and they were like kind of late checking out.
Mm-hmm.
And they were walking out with 2 fleeces, like fleece blankets.
Yeah.
And she was like,
"What are you doing?
Those are ours." No, oh, I'm so sorry. We thought they were ours.
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't.
Ridiculous.
You were trying to steal our blankets.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Realtor-ish podcast. I'm your host, Juliana. This podcast is all about helping entrepreneurs grow their business through real estate and business development strategies. In each episode, my guests and I will chat about the real when it comes to real estate. If you like what you hear, follow us on your favorite streaming platform. Welcome back to the Realtor-ish podcast. I'm your host, Juliana, and I'm here with an old friend, Drew Burton.
How you guys doing?
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. So, Drew and I go pretty far back. I don't even know how many years I've known you now. It was since 2013-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do
Almost
math.
10.
Oh, it is 2023.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Almost 10 years. Wow, that's nuts. So we went our separate ways into the college route, and I didn't go. You went for a little bit, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So we've made it back. We've crossed paths again in the real estate world. And so that's why you're here. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing in the industry, because it's not very different from what I'm doing. So I'd love to hear about that.
So I went to Temple. I was there for 3 years, but I started going part-time. I was doing some side hustles on the side and whatnot. But then I ended up falling into getting my real estate license. And I knew the market there at Temple. I knew what was going on. Obviously, I'd lived on campus for 3 years. And the first thing I did, I got my business cards. Once I passed my test and everything, I just started heading to Temple because I knew I could sell to these kids. And I knew the market. And, you know, if I hustled enough, I knew I could get it. And I thought making $600 off the MLS on a 2-bedroom was a big deal, like for me at the time.
Yeah.
And that's just what I went with. My first deal came from literally just old school, handing out a business card on the street, and grew my connection base from there. Did well for landlords. Eventually got a pretty big break with like an 80-unit landlord at Temple that just gave me the exclusive listings. You know, now we're up to the point we have 3 other agents working under the team and whatnot. We have apartment buildings, we have multifamily, single family.
Yeah. So you knew, like, just going into it when you're like, all right, you know what, let's see what it is, how much it costs, the time to get my license, and you knew you were going to primarily focus on rentals. Yeah.
And I thought the way I thought about it for the Temple market was more so there's almost like a guaranteed rate of turnover every year.
Yeah. And
there's, you know, I was looking at the MLS, the listings and everything, and I was like, you know what, I think there is like literally $1 to $2 million in commission traded like every year in that market, right, just because of the high turnovers. I lived it somewhere different every single year I was there, and just different roommates, better place.
That's crazy to me. I can't imagine moving that many times.
I mean, you're in college.
I guess when you're in college, you don't care, but just like the process for me, I like despise packing up and going somewhere else.
Half your shit in college you have to throw out when you move.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So where you partnered with somebody for this? Yeah,
so I was originally working where I work now, but I went to a RE/MAX property management company at Temple because I thought that'd be a great idea. You know, they have a ton of listings and whatnot on the MLS, and I thought that'd be the best spot to kind of grow my network at Temple.
Yeah.
But it just came to be where they would just push a lot of property management listings. I really just wanted to focus on my own listings and where I thought my time was best spent.
Right.
And now, so I found an agent at RE/MAX.
Okay.
And we partnered up at the brokerage we're at now, American Destiny Real Estate. And we started the Temple leasing team.
How did you learn how to like do the leasing contracts and stuff like that? Did you have guidance at the first place?
Yeah, I had some guidance for sure. It's more of a boutique brokerage, and I was like the young agent. Everyone else is, you know,
so people were just willing to like help you or like show you how it's done?
My broker, Ed Levin, was,
okay.
He's been a big help ever since. I could just pick up the phone.
Yeah. And is your partner similar in age, like from Temple?
No, actually, his name's Owen Kirk. Shout out to Owen. And He's only 19 years old.
Okay.
He went to Bucks kind of like you, just like checked in, you know.
Checked in and checked out.
Yeah, this wasn't for him.
Yep.
And, you know, credit to him. He grinds. He works really hard.
Do you know him from like growing up, or like how'd you meet him?
No, he was just met him through the Remax brokerage.
Okay, got it.
And what ended up happening was we were competing for the same leads and we had the same access to the listings. So it'd be funny, you know, we'd be like, oh, you know, you just took that girl there. Well, I just took her here. Like, why didn't we just take her?
Renters are not loyal either.
Yeah, no, not at all. They don't even know how it all works. Yeah. So we were just like, let's combine our connections, combine our leads, combine our time to be able to, you know, bounce off of each other. And we think like the 1 + 1 equals, you know, like 2.5 or 3 of what we could have done.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, I'm totally for like aligning with the right people and all that. And I think what you're doing as far as making that like your specialty, I think is something that people overlook. Like people get into the business and think that they don't ever want to do rentals or it's not worth their time or whatever it is. But you've built a business that specializes in something very specific. That's an easy turnover. It's the same time.
Right.
You know, you're doing yearly.
We have
August
all year to fill them for August.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a, you know, heavy lead time.
Yeah. So you would say like the bulk of your business is in the summer, right? Like towards the summer?
No, it's right now.
Right now.
Yeah, for the kids that are looking now. August definitely is like last minute scramblers. Like I had a good month for August last year, probably more than I thought was going to happen. But again, landlords become a lot more lenient. You start filling the 4 beds as 3 beds. You know, we just get them filled kind of thing. So I do. Do
you have like a database like process for like when the season quote unquote starts, how you start like marketing?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of want to get going right away. You know, after August starts, September, whatnot, we start checking in to the landlords who's renewing. And some people we already know that they're seniors, that we filled them last year, and we're just like, all right, we can focus on these units already. So we pretty much try to get going as soon as possible, as long as we can get the renewal notice from the landlords.
Right. Okay, cool. So that partner for the student housing, is that the same one that you do your investing with?
No, my partner for the Airbnb, that's Kevin Newbert.
Okay, so tell me about, first of all, before you got into real estate, when we reconnected after high school, you were doing something not in real estate world.
Yeah.
So can you tell me like about that? Because I think it's really interesting what your like hustle was.
I'll give a basic layover of the hustle and whatnot. Basically, I would go into like thrift stores and buy paperbacks and hardbacks for like 50 cents and $1.
Yeah.
And I would scan them. I had software and I would see if I could make a profit on Amazon, basically after all the fees, taxes, everything like that, holding costs. And, you know, it was good because sometimes you'd buy a book for 75 cents and I'd sell it for $16, you know, so the margins were good and it made sense and it was good money for a freshman in college. And I would come home to my dorm that was, you know, half a box, and I would dump a bunch of books on my bed, and I would go on my computer and print out barcodes and put them on the books and send them out to Amazon. And then Amazon would distribute them all out through their Prime FBA. But it was fun. It was a lot of hustle. It's a lot of like groundwork. I learned a lot of good business lessons.
Yeah. I think that's just cool. It's interesting to have that like a part of your story, because I think back on like some of the side hustles or like whatever I did, like when we were in college or when we were in high school, I used to tie-dye Nike socks.
Yeah, no.
And I would drive to the TJ Maxx or the Marshalls, and I would get a 6-pack for $11 when they're normally $21.
Sure.
And then I would buy the dye for like $20 for a big case from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go home with like a bucket and towel and rubber bands that I would reuse.
Yeah.
And I would be all in for like $15.
Yeah.
And then I would sell them for $15 a pair.
Nice.
So I would make your money back in one pair. But I would like sell them like out of my trunk at high school. And that was just like, I think back to like what we're doing now, like business building, business development, different type of like side hustles and that kind of thing. It's just interesting to see the growth in the both of us from like the business mindset that we had before we even knew that we had it.
Right.
But when did so you did the book stuff when you were still in school? Did you keep doing that, or was that just like while you were enrolled?
No, that was while I was enrolled. And then when I left school, I was still doing that.
Yeah.
And that was the money that was coming in. And I just had gained this interest in real estate. So I was kind of playing both sides a little bit.
Yeah.
And the books, really what came down to it was just scalability.
Yeah.
And I thought real estate was probably the most scalable industry in the world. So there was great lessons from that business and everything I've learned. And I had to hire my friends, like learn how to manage people, learn how to pay people, learn how to, upkeep all these kinds of hats.
And that's just stuff you learn on your own. Like no one taught you how to do that. No. You didn't learn that from your time in college.
I always joke about it. There's this flow sheet that I always got handed in my like entrepreneur classes, like literally a flow sheet. And I saw it in like 3 different classes. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Like I'm buying colored pencils and flow sheets and like, this isn't business. Like it's just so many things go wrong.
I remember like I was sitting, it was one of my very last classes that I was a student at. I was enrolled in at Bucks, and it was at the Lower Bucks campus. I did most of it in Newtown, but this particular class I could only get the time that I wanted in Lower Bucks. And I'm sitting there and it's like accounting 1. Mm-hmm. It's like lowest level of accounting you can take, which was like a slight step up from what I took my senior year in high school.
Sure.
And I just remember like I was getting text for, I was running a screen printing and embroidery company at that time. And I had that through high school. And I was getting text about an order. It was like 1,000-piece order for something. Like something was happening. And like this teacher is trying to tell me how to do like the credits and all that stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. And I just remember like walking out, and then that week I like dropped out. Yeah. Like I just like never went back. And I was like, I didn't learn anything. I couldn't pay attention to that. And then now I'm like sitting here with my accountant and I'm going over my QuickBooks and like tagging everything.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, there was a point in time in my business where I was like, maybe if I would have known how to manage and understand my P&L like better from actually paying attention to that class and like getting it, that this could be easier. But also,
now,
QuickBooks makes it like really, really easy to.
That's what I would say. I would say it's like a happy medium. You have to understand how to communicate. Yeah. But there's so much good technology
You and I have learned
out there.
so much in experience.
Yeah.
That it just was not worth it for us to maintain going.
No, not for us.
No.
But it's not a bad thing.
It's not, No, I tell people that all the time. Like, if you have a desire to go to college, I never did. I never wanted it. No. So, like, if you have a desire for that, even if it's just the experience, that you should do it.
Right.
But I don't recommend just going to go.
Right. I mean, I am grateful that I did get to go, because a lot of my network was built at Temple, and I still have friends to this day, X, Y, and Z professors, people that I've met along the way that I've still talked to today about Airbnb deals and other real estate stuff that originally knew me from Temple as the like textbook flipping kid, or whatnot. And
so tell me about how you broke into doing Airbnbs in Wildwood, New Jersey.
So it started back like March 2022. We were looking for a rental arbitrage deal. Okay. And do you want to explain that for anyone that might not know?
Do you want to explain it?
You can explain it.
So basically, when you rent I'm assuming this is what you're talking about, when you rent a property, but you're Airbnb-ing it?
Yeah, you're subleasing it out on Airbnb.
So basically, you get a rental that allows you to Airbnb it / sublease it. I would recommend that you get that in writing. I do not partake I don't like
You just need permission from the landlord and make sure your zoning's correct. But I
still don't like it.
No, it's a terrible model.
Personally, I don't like it. But anyway, basically, you find a property, you rent it, you sublease it as an Airbnb, and you're just paying to rent the property, and then you're creating income off of
the
nightly
spread,
rentals.
Whatever it is. Okay. Yeah.
That's Airbnb arbitrage. Get that out of the way.
Yeah. It's very sold over the internet and whatnot, because it's a low barrier to entry kind of hustle, where you just need like first class and security, and then you can be making all this money on Airbnb, and nobody really tells you just signed up to become a full-time property manager, and on top of that, you got to understand the hospitality industry and guests and communications and pricing and demand and comps and real estate and like. All these courses, these kids that get sold the dream, and then they're the ones that list something, and then
Have you ever paid for an Airbnb course?
No.
Okay.
No. YouTube's great though. I love
Yeah, YouTube University is great.
Yeah, I love YouTube. I've learned a lot from
I've just
YouTube.
seen like a lot of courses for Airbnb that are in like the double digits and thousands.
Yeah, I could sell one right now. Like I guarantee you I could put something, because I don't want to focus my time on that.
Okay.
And I guarantee I could put something together and sell it for like $2,500 and, just put it all together. And what I'm giving is definitely worth that. But whether they're actually going to execute on that is another thing.
It's not really your problem though.
It's not, but like I'd rather just focus on
I coach people
properties.
on how to leverage social media in order to expand their business. And I have gone through that like feeling of, well, I'm not providing enough value because they're not seeing the like success.
Right.
And yet if I look back, not my current clients, but previous clients, my current clients are amazing. I'm so proud of them. But previous people who have taken like courses with me or have done one-on-one coaching, and they'll say it like they just don't implement the things that I'm telling them to do. Right. So like that's not my problem.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I can only tell you how many times you should do something. If you don't do it, then we're just talking. You're just paying for me to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah, you should think about doing that though.
I could.
You could just record them.
No, I know. It's just
doesn't even have to
right
be live.
now I'm just focused on like this deal, this person, this new connection,
Dom could record
referral.
It for you.
Oh yeah, I would totally. That was the best.
We're hard closing him right now.
Thank you.
Okay, so back on track. So we go to Wildwood. Where's the first step in Airbnb?
Right.
There.
So originally the arbitrage deal we were looking for was like in New Hope or Lambertville. Something close by that we could manage because I was living in Bucks County at the time. None of the numbers really ended up working. Like we said, like it's very kind of tight, thin margin model. And, it's high risk. You're constantly paying out the rent, but you're not sure how much revenue you're going to bring in. So eventually there was this deal in Wildwood, New Jersey. It was a 1-bed, 1-bath condo, and it was listed for $225,000. And they only wanted an all cash offer. So there was no HOA on this for the first 20 days I was listed on the market. Then they come back, they make an HOA. We put in an offer that day, like full asking.
A homeowners association, just in case anyone's wondering.
So we were able to get like certain insurances on it.
So you got a loan for it?
Correct.
Got it.
And we were the first one to kind of like reach back out to them after they'd made the association and it was available for mortgage financing. And my partner, pretty much by the skin of his teeth, he had an internship and he was still working at the same company. So they were able to use his income from that year after he got hired officially after college.
Okay.
And he got approved for a 10% vacation home loan. So we were able to put 10% down on $225,000 after closing costs, fees, taxes, insurances, and everything. Came out to like $30,000, so about $15,000 each. Which I think is a great first step for anyone. I think 15 is definitely something you can really work hard towards and build up. And, I think it's always good to start businesses with your own money that you've worked hard for.
Yeah.
Because when you have other people's money, you just don't have the same level of respect. Whether that's like subconsciously or not, you might not. But it's just like.
I think it depends on how. Like if you're doing private money and you're doing like the Burr method. You're orchestrating it, like you're doing a cash out refi and you're paying the people back and you're making money. Like that's fine. But I like the idea of owning, if you can do it yourself, that's awesome. Yeah.
But pretty much, I would recommend that move to anyone that wanted to get started. And we can talk all day about the Wildwood market and the numbers that are there and whatnot. But basically, we actually ended up closing on the property and renting it out the same day. And I wouldn't recommend doing that to anyone.
On Airbnb?
Correct, because we already had the booking beforehand.
Did you buy it furnished?
And I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, it was turnkey.
Okay.
It was actually already operating as an Airbnb before us. So this is what happened. Interest rates are going up fast. Like this is the time I'm buying, March 2022.
Okay.
Interest rates are going up faster than they've ever gone up in the history, of our time and whatnot. And the lender calls us and is like, hey, there's this little box here. Like it says 400 square feet. And our property was like, it's literally like 388 square feet. And she's like, he says, we can't approve you for this loan. The appraisal came in and it's 388 square feet. It's not 400. And so we had to get out of that loan, get a new one. And we did the math. It ended up costing us about $30,000 like in interest over the term of the loan for our new rate that we got. But we were still able to lock in at 5.75.
Conventional.
Correct.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So it was crazy, but that pushed back closing.
Wait. I had somebody ask me to put a sold rider up on my listing that just went pending this weekend. And I said, no. I said, it is not over until the keys are handed and the last document is signed and your ID is copied. I'm like, oh my God. I said, no, I'm not doing that. It's not sold. Yeah. And it's like when car salesmen say like, oh, until the back 2 tires are off the lot. Like, yeah.
No, that is really how it works. Like, it's not good until the check's in your hand kind of thing. Ooh. But
I'm like stressed just thinking about that.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. But basically that pushed back closing to the day, like Memorial Day weekend. We got booked that Thursday night.
Because all your numbers depend on starting that weekend, essentially.
Yeah, we had it listed on Airbnb the whole time we're under contract just because it was like push of the gun. Yeah, no, they knew. The lender knew and everything. Care. I mean, again.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, well, if we don't close, like, we'll just cancel all the reservations, or we're going to be at a great.
Sounds like some fire festival type of.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like, we have a right to cancel if we don't own the property.
Think about all these people that had their vacations booked.
I mean, it was only
most popular
but
weekend
think of it. It's
Wildwood.
The same people that booked 14 days. Like, we went under contract. It was only on there for like 20 days.
That's true.
Like. They could have got anything else. But anyways.
Not if it didn't close that weekend.
We were going to close, all right? We were going to close. That's what it was always going to happen. And
there's always a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters. If you have fallen victim to property damage, Castle Public Adjusters is your first and only call. They will make sure that you get the maximum compensation for your property loss. Remember, avoid the hassle. Just call Castle. 215-752-1237.
But no, that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And turns out that my first guest that ever came, of course, Memorial Day weekend, trashed the place. Like, not like, yeah. So like, this is bam, day one. Like, we're here.
And this is your first experience pretty much with Airbnb.
No, this is the first guest that ever like stayed in my property. And I'm in Philly and I drive down to Wildwood just because of, like, we're just nervous. We want to know. We ended up having to like get a new cleaner because like we started off on a terrible foot. Yeah. Like, and we were never going to.
And they were like, we're not doing this again.
They're like, these kids have
How many cleaners have you gone through since then?
Just that one, honestly. We leverage, some others that when they're busy and whatnot, but just that one.
You haven't had any issues with other?
Actually, we're probably about to let this second one go this weekend. But it's like, it's all in just like.
Sorry if you're hearing this here. No, I'm just kidding. You're fired.
It's just pricing and,
I feel like I'm on that show.
Yeah. We like to deal with like bigger companies that, we like to pay the premium to bigger companies to just like ensure that it's going to be done right.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And I don't do that.
Yeah.
I would.
Did you call Rinse?
No. I don't need to.
Oh.
I would if I need to.
Who's cleaning your Airbnb now?
His name is Angelo. I have no idea if he has a company name or not.
Yeah, just Angelo.
It's just Angelo as far as I know.
That's good.
He is a gem.
I bet.
He's a very nice guy. Sometimes he brings a partner, sometimes he doesn't. He is super reliable and almost always will, like if I call him the night before and I need it the next day, if he can't do the time that I say, he'll literally be like, can I do an hour later? Or he'll just make it work. Right. Like he figures it out. So I really like that. But so the property that I have in Philadelphia that I would be using that cleaning for, I'm not really Airbnb-ing much anymore.
Okay.
So I just don't need them. But so no, that's why I have not called
There's
them.
Always
but in
a guy.
Florida, I have personal private like management. So the woman that she's not a girl, Lauren, who I'm gatekeeping. No, I will never give her information out to anybody. All you know is that her name is Lauren.
Also a gem.
The gem of all gems. She is top tier, 10 out of 10 recommend, but I won't recommend. Gem. She manages and cleans.
Yeah.
She deals with all the communications.
And the handyman work, right?
Well,
No.
She'll do a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
She has fixed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She has hung things. She's painted things. She's unclogged things.
Yeah.
She has super glued things.
Right.
We had an IKEA chair like totally just fall apart not that long ago. And IKEA is the worst with restocking items.
Oh, yeah.
So she has rigged things. Lauren is the best, but she manages and she cleans. So she does everything. And so in Florida, she has been the biggest blessing and has allowed me to create generational wealth for my family because of her. And then I've managed my own. And
then like we said, I mean, it sounds like she's happy. You know, she likes to get paid for the little jobs
if
here and
I
there.
can give her like bonuses for whatever, like if it works out, I always do.
We do that with our cleaners too. Like,
or I try to like call if I'm gonna be there, like be in town, I'll take her out to dinner or something like that. But I will spoil Lauren as much as I possibly can because
that stuff goes a long way.
She's the best.
Right.
And like she's like family now. She has like 2 kids. They're like 4 and 8 or something like that, around those ages. They're like great.
And it's a tough job too because it's like 24/7, but it's not, you know, so it's hard.
Because sometimes she's split between me and one other person and they have a handful more properties than I do.
Okay.
So she's busy now, but sometimes she doesn't really have a lot going on and sometimes it's chaos.
Right.
Like she has to bring in a cleaner. We have to like make adjustments for her, help her in any way that we can. But sometimes we have like longer stays. So there's just days where you're not needed and the guests are great. I luckily, knock on wood, wherever I can find wood, haven't had too many issues with guests. We've had people try to steal stuff.
Really?
Like one time.
I'm not surprised, but.
One time she was pulling up and they were like kind of late checking out. And they were walking out with 2 fleeces, like fleece blankets.
Yeah.
And she was like,
what are you doing?
Those are ours. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We thought they were ours.
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't.
Ridiculous.
You were trying to steal our blankets.
Yeah. It's the same thing like while you have to have all of your toilet paper, paper towels, and all that kind of stuff locked away. People will just take it.
I've learned that. And it's funny because some stuff we don't have any problems leaving out and we never have an issue. Like if you go in my Florida property, under the sink, we have a ton of like Walmart bags that we use as trash bags or for whatever. We have Ziplocs. We have a ridiculous amount of dishwasher soap and hand soap and stuff like that. And like that stuff's always fine. But like toilet paper and paper towels, forget it.
Yeah. No, they just get ransacked.
We try to like keep a certain amount. I have been told that my properties have had more available to like the guests than some of the other properties they have stayed at. Like I stayed at one in the Poconos and it had like, it didn't even have sheets.
Right. So there's
which some people do that.
Yeah. And I think at the beach you can get away with it, but a market like the Poconos, there's so much saturation and competition. Like you should provide linens.
Yeah. Also, like I could never do that in Florida. Like I would probably say at least 50% is flying in.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
No. Yeah. The beach is different though, obviously, because everyone's driving about from like 2 hours away, New York.
And I think on weekly rentals in Ocean City and Wildwood, from my previous experience, like if you rent a weekly house, sometimes you bring the sheets. Like I feel like I remember growing up, we've done that maybe like once. Yeah, and we brought our own sheets.
We operate one of ours like that, so it's interesting because we have a 3-bed, 2-bath in the back of the island, and we provide linens for that one. Yeah, and again, that just draws people to your calendar more so, whatever it's priced at. Maybe it helps the occupancy more a little bit. But then we have one single family, 4-bed, 2-bath with a garage, sleeps 12 people. We kind of just list it, bring your sheets.
Do you have washer and dryer on site there?
We do.
And then for the one that you do the linens, do you sub out the linens?
Yeah, it's an additional charge.
But you have a company come and bring them, or is it included in your cleaning service?
So it depends on the cleaner that we're hiring. A lot of them, like the mom and pop ones, will just do it while they're there at the washer dryer. Some of them have their own offsite kind of thing. Like
I've had a few people that have linens on rotation delivered.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the cleaner does it or the manager makes sure that it gets done. Like they just drop it off to the front porch in like bags.
Yeah. Well, we always have 3 sets of everything just to make sure. Like
that's how. So when I furnished the 2 in Florida. I've done it twice now, and I have
fun.
like a whole. First of all, I'm gonna plug myself real quick because I just thought about this. On my Instagram, Jul_the_realtor, link in my bio that says Amazon favorites. If you go to Amazon favorites, there's a link on there, and that gives you a list of everything that I put in my Airbnbs, from cleaning supplies to the type of linens I purchase, which I'm just hyping myself up right now. I just got an email like the other day from this company called, I'll butcher the name, I'm not going to even say it. There's a linen company that I've bought my sheets from for the past 3 years, personally and for my rentals. You can get a king set for like $35.
Oh, nice.
White.
Yeah.
Good quality.
Yeah.
Like comes with 4 pillowcases. Great.
Yeah.
Top sheet, fitted sheet.
Nice.
I don't know if they know that I've been ordering it or what, but they just emailed me and they were like, hey, we want to like send you sheets to try out in exchange for like a video or something.
Sure.
So I think they don't know I've been ordering it because they're offering me to try it, but it just so happens to be the company.
No, I think they know you have the affiliate link going. No?
So they know I have the link, but why would they send me them? Why would they word it like that?
Because they want you to put more content out there. I mean, that's just how I'm seeing it, but.
I feel like they'd be like, we see that you've ordered them, like,
And
we'll
they're just
send you in
giving them?
exchange for.
Oh.
Like, they're acting as if I don't know the company.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's their plan.
But that sounds like
I
a
don't
good
know,
deal either way.
But recommend for your own personal. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with this. I'm like on a tangent, but we're just gonna keep going. My aunt, love you to death, great aunt, my Aunt Judy, very particular, very, very particular with everything she does. When she goes to a restaurant, she orders her soup piping hot.
Okay.
She is very particular. So if she recommends something to me, like she will pay what she needs to pay. Like there's not a price limit on the quality. It's just that if this is good or it's not good.
Yeah.
And if it's good, she will have it.
Sure.
So if she recommends something, and it has the AJ approval, I know that this is like legitimate.
Right.
So she's the one who told me about these sheets. She's like, it's crazy that they're only $35.
Yeah.
And like, if she's ordering sheets off Amazon, that means that they have to be good quality.
Right.
Like it's, so anyway, AJ, sign of approval, seal of approval, link in my bio for everything you need to furnish an Airbnb. Back to what we were saying.
Yeah. No,
That's my commercial for today.
It does come down to a lot. Like you start to learn when you're in a house how much you really need to operate on a daily basis is kind of crazy. And I bet if you kind of just try to set up an Airbnb like right now, 100%, if you stayed in that Airbnb for like 3 nights, you'd be like, oh, this is missing. Oh, this weird hook. I don't have anywhere to put this towel, that. It's just like all these.
Do you have a spreadsheet for that?
So
like everything you need? One
of our philosophies that we started doing now is we actually stay in the property for 3 nights ourselves before listing it. And like sometimes that gets skewed because we're in the property so much anyways that like it does come out to 36 or, whatever it is, 72. And basically that helps you like, you go to the bathroom, you take a shower, like you really know, is the water hot? Does it get hot and then get cold? Or like, so it's all these things kind of just test drive to make sure we're not getting that, 11:30 text off over Airbnb. Hey, the water's not getting hot. Hey, the Wi-Fi is not working, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps.
Yeah. Lauren put it together a spreadsheet for me of like, after our first run through, we have a whole Google Drive of all the things from the income to the inventory.
Sure.
She does a fantastic job at that. And so, I got lucky. The first one I bought, it came furnished. So I got to skip over a lot of it because it was already there.
Yeah.
But the list, I just like sat there and I'm like, okay, silverware, pots, pans, the towel, like a
hand towels,
hand soap, dishwasher soap, like
dishwasher pods.
Yeah. Laundry detergent. I need, if I have 2 beds, I need at least 3 sheets for each. Then towels. How many people are we saying we sleep? How many towels would you order if you sleep 6?
I mean, we probably have 2 per, so like
2 per
12,
person, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of towels.
Yeah. No, it is. It adds up, and it really does.
And that's 2 per person per stay.
Right.
So that's not even enough for a turnover. You need to double or triple that.
You need to double or triple that.
Yeah.
Is what we would have.
Yeah. You just don't think about that.
That stuff adds up so quick too. Like,
what would you say, and if you don't know the number, that's fine, but for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath to furnish that in its entirety, what do you think the cost is?
So I'll give you one that we did on Palmer. It was 2-bed, 1-bath house, single family. And, we were creative in what we did. Most of the stuff was from IKEA here and there. Like, we didn't really do any Facebook Marketplace stuff. And that cost us about $8,000. And then, again, my company was doing this, and we put in all the time. So there was still like a $500 interior design fee, and then, setup fee for all the man hours to put all it together and get everything going. So at the end, it'll be like $10,000. I wanted to say that number too, because not only do you have to factor in the materials,
your time.
Well, if it's your time, or do you have to pay someone else to set it up, and the handyman, what situation are you in? It's a lot of money.
I furnished a 3-bedroom, 1-bath with Lauren. Me and Lauren.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wait, do you know how many hours I spent on IKEA bed frames?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Cursing at IKEA bed frames. Mm-hmm. Also, I think that, I don't know whose fault it was. Lauren put together a entryway cabinetry piece, and all of the cabinets were built upside down. Oh God! Like all the drawers. Yeah. And I was like, maybe she did it wrong. Maybe the directions were wrong. I don't know. But I told her, I was like, this is for looks anyway. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah. I was like, just leave it. Sometimes. And we left it for the longest time. But I know you sub out for the interior, or like you have someone. Yeah. Does interior design. Mm-hmm. Have you used third parties like TaskRabbit or anything for other stuff?
I just can't get over the fees. So I haven't. It's just so expensive. I got one of my friends, like Liam Moran, he lives around the corner from me. I got him a rental. He's my like TV hanger handyman guy. So,
Oh yeah, you've built your like crew.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I try and work those networks before I have to reach out to those services that are just loaded with fees. Yeah.
I've done it for TVs.
TV, like hanging a TV.
I'm not hanging
just so
a TV
you guys
by
know,
myself.
it's instant $100. Like to get someone just to come out is the most expensive thing is just to get someone to show up. So if you have someone to show up, that's already like $75, something like that.
I've spent probably $100 to $120 on TaskRabbits for TV hanging.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But are you going to hang that TV?
Fuck no.
Yeah. I'm not taking that risk.
No, I physically cannot do it.
No. Oh, well.
Like I cannot do it.
But
no, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. But furnishing, it's a lot of time, and I think people don't really think about it. I thought when I got the second property in Florida that I actually sold and I don't have anymore, I thought that I could do it in a week by myself with Lauren minimal.
Yeah. It's just not happening.
It's not. No. I had 1, 2, 3. I have 4 bed frames to build, end tables, things to hang, kitchen to be filled with the silverware and the trays and the plates and dishwashing everything, and then setting up outdoor furniture and light bulbs. And like touching up paint on certain things. Or, oh my gosh, I ordered the whole house on Amazon, Walmart, and IKEA.
Yeah. Those are the big 3 right there.
The boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, if I can find a picture, I will post it somewhere with this podcast with maybe the reel or something like that. But there were a mountain of cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
Like cuts all over my hands from like punching and breaking down boxes, and like the boxes just never ended. And I thought it would be convenient to just have order everything online, deliver it, and I'll deal with it when it gets there. Yeah. I don't know that I would have done it differently, honestly, but it was just chaos.
For Florida, I mean, you're going to have to do that, right, to get everything shipped down there.
What am I going to do? Go to a store and just like load my car up with it?
Just Facebook Marketplace, I mean. Like you can get a great deal.
Oh, we definitely did that still.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But like majority of it we did.
No, yeah, there's so much stuff
I probably spent the same amount of money as what you're saying.
Yeah.
On the 3-bedroom, 1-bath, completely start to finish, with including landscaping fees for taking out a whole thing of trees and fixing stuff, with furnishing, I spent like $11,500.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Walmart is actually better than Amazon a lot of time.
It is. I mean, I know this from my textbook flipping days. Like Amazon's going to come for about 20% off the top. And they take 15%, and then they have all these fees, and then you got to pay storage fees and long-term storage fees.
Oh,
and so you obviously see that cost pushed onto the customer a lot of times on Amazon.
I guess with like Prime, though, for a lot of the products, it just made sense.
Right.
Because other places didn't have free shipping, or if I had to rent a U-Haul to go to a Target, like what?
No.
Makes no sense.
Right.
So I'd rather just have everything delivered, but lining up the times of the deliveries.
Yeah, it's tough.
And the first time I did that down there, I didn't have a car.
Oh, God.
So I had to Uber. My friend Kelsey and I had Ubered to Home Depot and did curbside pickup for some of the stuff, and then we'd go in and like look around, and I like ordered a outdoor table and all this other stuff to be delivered. But like, I had ended up renting a car, and now I have a car down there, so like it's fine.
Oh, nice. It's still down there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
One of the properties we have has a garage.
Okay. Nice.
And it's locked, so don't even try it. No, but it's just like a beater.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Florida car.
A Florida car. It's a Jeep.
There you go.
But yeah, so furnishing is just like...
It's a big task.
It's a big task. I was very angry.
Yeah. It takes a lot of mental...
IKEA is like a give and take. You get furniture that works for rentals.
Sure.
That if it gets beat up, whatever, like it's financially makes sense.
Yeah. They claim that it's easy to put everything together. Not. Yeah, it's really...
I heard that they're making furniture now that's easy to take apart and reassemble. Because my experience, once you take that thing apart,
IKEA's done. Yeah, you can't put that back together.
I actually had a big king size mom bed frame at my apartment in Old City before I moved out, and I think it cost, I want to say it was $250 for the bed frame, which is like nothing in bed frame world.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I just left it. I just left it.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I think actually we like tore it apart.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't leave it for my security deposit, but I didn't bring it with me, and I only lived there for 13 months.
Right.
I just totally just like took a hammer to it.
Yeah. They're impossible to take apart.
Yeah. So how many properties are you managing in Wildwood?
Right now we're at 10. 2 of them are under construction. We have a 5-unit multifamily right on Cressy Ave. We have a single family on 26 Ave, 4-bed, 2-bath.
Yeah.
And then we have 3 more units from an investor. 2 of them are under construction, 1 that we just listed, and then we manage our own.
Nice. That's awesome. So if somebody wanted to get your information for managing an Airbnb in Wildwood area, how would they contact you?
You could just go to my Instagram, Drew Burton ____.
3 underscores?
Yeah, I wanted to lock down the name. No, the Drew Burton 2 underscores gone. So
what about Drew _Burton?
Nah, I just like I'm gonna rock with it.
All right, we'll work on it.
No, but you can reach out there, and then my handle for my company's Instagram is Carlisle Vacation Homes, and
I did just follow that.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. If you're interested in anything I have to say, other than already listening to me talk so much on this podcast, you can follow me on Instagram at Jul_the_realtor or on TikTok, Jul the Realtor. I don't think there's any underscores there. We also now have an Instagram page and a Twitter page for Realtor-ish. It is Realtor-ish Podcast. I'm honestly not sure exactly what that handle is, but if you search Realtor-ish on Twitter or on Instagram, you will find it. It's also on all my profiles as well. I appreciate you tuning in and listening if you're still with us, and I hope that you follow us on all your favorite streaming platforms to stay up to date on new episodes, and we'll see you next time.